The Generation Zero Showdown update has been out for a few days now, and with it has brought lots of awesome stuff. A whole new island, loads of changes to the building, experimental weapons, and a new storyline. Overall, the update, I think, has actually been one of the best updates that we've seen from the team. It is the last one, so that is unfortunate, but this update has brought with it loads of cool stuff. It's enhanced the storyline. I think I've played it for around about 3 hours, just plodding along and doing the story missions. Decent chunk of time that's in there. There's loads of new stuff to collect, loads of weapon collectibles, loads of skins, all sorts of stuff for your companion. All round, it is a pretty good update, but unfortunately, they've done one massive blunder, and that is the crafting. They've massively overhauled the crafting systems in the game, and they've done that because they've added 3 new buildable items. So you've got a drill, a furnace, and a chemical station to create some new materials. The drill gets us phosphorus, which is stuff that you need for base building. The chemical plant gets us alcohol or ethanol, which you need to craft medkits and stuff like that. And then finally, the furnace produces 3 items: uranium ingots, tungsten ingots, and then there is a final one as well as aluminium. But the 3 new ingots. Now, the big shame to this is they have overhauled the way that you actually get ammo and things like that from machines. Now you can't get that higher end stuff like armor piercing, so you have to craft it. Which is not too bad, because you can craft it normally and it's not really too much of an issue. So as you can see, for most of the ammo, you just need explosives and steel or lead. And then when it comes to the 6 crown ammo, which is the higher end stuff that you're really going to want to build, stuff like the shock ammo, which is easily one of the best ammos in the game. As you can see, we need refined uranium alloy. And then for this one as well, refined uranium alloy, refined aluminium alloy, refined aluminium alloy, refined tungsten alloy, which these things are not the easiest to get. As you can see here, we've got a furnace. Now, the gameplay footage that you'll see in the background in just a second. Now, the furnace missions are relatively simple. Same as the chemical plant and the drill. You just need to protect the items from anything for 3 to 7 minutes, depending on what style you've picked. The easy missions, medium, or hard. Now, for the drill, you will get phosphorus, which is good for building, and you can place 3 drills at once, so that does help curb that a tiny little bit. But when it comes to actually building things, as you can see here, you need phosphorus for a lot of stuff. You need 5 for that, 5 for that. A lot of the values are just 5, which you'll get from one run of the drill. It's not a problem. You get anything from 4 to 16 from what I've seen. It seems to be really, really random. Like one time I got 27 doing it on hard. And so if you've got 3 drills running, you'll get an average of 90 per hard run. But these runs are really quite difficult. If you're doing it on easy, you'll have prototype machines. Doing it on medium, you're going to have military class machines. And then doing it on hard, you are going to have Phoenix machines. Now, defending a base for 7 continual minutes is relatively tough. And if your base does get destroyed or you've put a lot of resources into it, that's not too much of an issue, because now you can freely repair the base without using any resources, but only at the end of the defense. So they've incorporated the drill, the chemical station, and the furnace into the new building system and the new sort of base defense mechanics, which I don't mind that. I think that is quite cool and it's enjoyable. It's just something a little bit different. Now we're going to go over the full base building mechanics and how that's changed in a separate video. But when it comes to gaining things like refined uranium and refined tungsten, refined aluminium, that takes a hell of a long time. I've run the medium missions on the furnace and I've come away with 12 of that resource. On that run, I was just using the tungsten. So you put 100 tungsten in and you will get 12 refined tungsten back. So you're going to need to do a lot of farming, especially when it comes to uranium. A lot of these high-end resources that you need to craft the things that you're really going to want to be using all the time. It really comes into a real problem when you want to craft things like first aid kits. You need ethanol, which you get from the crafting station. Now, that is a pain in the arse, because ethanol, running a medium chemical station mission, I only got 12 ethanol. So that's not enough. That's going to make me 2 medkits for 5 minutes of my time. So they are really forcing you now to do a lot of this stuff. So as we can see, you go further down, you're going to need a lot more stuff. You need the phosphorus for the grenades. For the medical first aid kits, you need 30 ethanol. Paramedic response kits, you need ethanol again. So when it comes to crafting the higher end meds, you are in a bit of a shit situation. Now when it comes to the normal first aid kits, you can still get those using textiles. They're not too much of an issue. But for the advanced ones, they're very hard to find whilst you're out in the wild now. I've come across probably 30 in my 4 hours of playing. And you're going to need a lot of them depending on your playstyle. If you are more run and gun, you'll be using a lot more medkits. And then if you want the higher end ammo, you're also going to have to do these grinding missions. Now, taking away the consumable crafting which we had beforehand, which was relatively simple, and it was something that was relatively passive. You could gain a lot of resources whilst just going around either taking down a base. You wouldn't have to engage in the base defense at all. You could engage in destroying bases and just taking down machines, and you'd come away with enough resources to craft yourself some ammo, to craft medkits, all of that good stuff. But with these changes, they are forcing you to do these new missions. So using the drill, the chemical station, and the furnace, which I think is a bit shit. They're literally forcing you to do something that we've already done, and some people do not like that aspect of the game. They don't like the base defense. I don't mind it, but for now, when you're having to craft some of these things, it's forcing you to do it, and it feels extremely grindy. I highly doubt it, because this is the last update, but I hope after enough people have complained, I've seen on Discord and things like that people are a little bit pissed off. The values and the returns you get for the time you have to put in aren't necessarily worth it. You could be playing for 5 minutes, or even 7 minutes, and craft 2 first aid kits, which is not really enough. It's not a very good trade-off, because you can go and farm some areas, and you could, it's highly unlikely, but you could come across some better first aid kits there. You can't come across the 7.62 ammo, so you are going to be using now a lot more crafting materials to create that ammo, so people's bundles that they've got over the years, well, they will slowly start to deplete if you are crafting that armor-piercing ammo. So it is like a bit of a kick in the teeth. I don't like the way that they've done it. I do like the new base defense missions and how you can do it, but they made it seem more of a passive thing than an active thing. You do have to stay with these machines. You have to stay there. You have to farm them, and it takes a lot of resources and ammo depending on the timer that you're going for. If you're going for 3 minutes, yes, you're not using too much, but you are going to... The rewards are not going to be as great, and you're still going to use a little bit of ammo and possibly some meds. For the medium one, it's the same, but then on hard, you're going to use a lot of ammo to take down the machines, because you do have to build an entire base around these new production facilities, because they don't have much strength behind them. And if you are playing with the furnace, it's not so much a passive base defense. You constantly have to go back and exhaust the heat that is in there, so it is a pain in the arse. Overall, I'm not a fan of the changes to the crafting system. I like the changes to the base building. Yes, they've improved and made some of the values a bit higher, but that accounts for being able to repair it for free. So now, if you are doing a base defense and you've built a base, once you've built it once, that's it. If you fail the round, just press the button at the end and everything will come back for free. But we'll go over the base defense changes in a separate video. What do you guys think to the new crafting changes? Are you a fan of it? I know I certainly am not. Hopefully they take a lot of the feedback on board. I've seen a lot of people are a little bit pissed off with it. So hopefully they do push out another update, tweaking those changes a little bit. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. For now, thank you for watching. I've been Wired, you've been awesome, and we'll see you very soon with some more GZ.